Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist. We're going to try it again. We're going to try to make some acetic acid or ethanoic acid. This time we're going to try to do it with acidified permanganate. I got 105.4 grams of potassium permanganate in here. I put in 500 milliliters of water and I shook it around until it dissolved. Now, the first time I did this, I made the mistake. I left a clump in the bottom, right? So during the reaction, the permanganate that was in solution was reduced to MnO2, which precipitated out and proceeded to cover up that clot down at the bottom, you know what I mean, of the permanganate. And it didn't react, right? So when I got done with the adding the ethanol, I thought it was done, man. I took it out and I was going to just, check a little bit of it and see if it was clear solution. It was. All the way down to that clump. And then I added some water in to like shake it around to get the rest of it out, and it all turned purple. I made sure that it was dissolved. Then I got 20 milliliters of my concentrated sulfuric acid. I added 100 milliliters of water to it to dilute it, and then I added it to this. Okay, so this is acidified potassium permanganate, and about 700 milliliters of water, or about 600. Now, I'm going to do this in cold. Put this up here. I'll fill this up with ice. And I will put water in there and keep it nice and cold. What I noticed on it when I was doing the acidified one was that I would add a little bit of ethanol, and immediately acetaldehyde was produced. It'd go up the condenser, and I wait a little bit. It took me forever to add it, okay? I'm hoping if I cool it down, it'll keep the acetaldehyde in solution instead of coming up out, because it heats up as you add this stuff, all right? So you can see right above this, it goes off into two spots. One is to the equalizing funnel. That has my ethanol in it. It's 73 milliliters of 80 proof, which is 40% by volume. So it's actually like 29 or 30 milliliters of ethanol. Okay, the other side arm goes up and it goes to two dead ends, okay? Then it goes over to here to the condenser. The reason why I did that is I'm tired of cold water from the condenser dripping down on the outside and touching this hot, I don't like that. I don't like cold touching hot when it's glass. And also the heat rises and it goes straight up. This way I can block it a little bit, move my condenser over. Check it out. First condenser is this coil kind, real good kind. Then I got it in series, see here? Comes in it and goes to the next one, which is just a regular, I think that's called a Liebig. And then I got another one, a third one. It's not connected up with water. It goes all the way to the ceiling, and then I got a cap on it. But that cap is loose, okay? So, and it has just enough room to pop up, but not, it'll hit the roof before it falls out. So it should just fall back in, you know what I mean, if I have it loose. Hopefully that'll keep down the fumes. So basically I'm going to drip that in, and I'm going to put some ice in there, turn my condenser on so nothing escapes. Alright, I'm going to start dripping this in a little bit, see what happens. Turn on my condenser. I got no stir, so I kind of got to stir it myself. Of course, that loosens my joints. Can't really tell anything that happens till a while when it starts getting black. It's basically me opening up the thing, letting a little bit out, letting it drip a little bit till I see it. Till I see it starting to reflux there. It's doing pretty good. It's only like dripping one drip or something every once in a while. So I'll drip that in. Alright, there's my pot. I mean, it's done. It took about an hour to add that ethanol. It was actually like 100 milliliters. There was 73 milliliters of ethanol, and then I had to wish out the cup. So I wished it out with 25 milliliters of water. So anyways, it's all in there. It took about an hour to add it. Let me tell you, it went smooth. There was hardly any acetaldehyde that went up there. Last time when I didn't use an ice bath, it was terrible. I had to keep stopping and starting the dripping because it was just overwhelming. Took off the equalizing funnel. I replaced it with a cap. And I'm going to take the ice bath off. And right below that is a heater, propane heater. So I'll distill it, or reflux it maybe about a half hour. Well, there you go. Done refluxing. It's been about 45-50 minutes. I got it up to like 85 degrees or something. So, I mean, I'll call it a day. You can't see it on camera, but there is a top layer here that's clear. And, I mean, it's dirty. That shows you that it's probably done. And you can see this is a better example. This is my last attempt. It's a failure. I mean, it worked. It's just I lost track of the stoichiometry. You can see up here, it's nice and clear. I mean, you can see through that. There's no purple at all. It's brown, that's for sure. But if there's no purple in half of it, the other half, it's not like the permanganate's going to be in one half of the solution. It's going to be evenly distributed. So it's obviously done, unless you have a clump like I did. That's how I screwed this one up. I started to filter it, and the filter got, there was just too much crap in there, and I couldn't separate it, and I lost track of stuff. But anyways, you can see that is obviously done, right? I refluxed it for about 45 minutes. Now I'm going to filter it out. And this is a good way to make MnO2. That's a byproduct. Oh yeah. Crystal clear. You're not going to have a solution where only part of the water has permanganate in it. It's either going to all have some in it or none. So it's obviously a completed reaction. So I'm not going to vacuum filter this until the very end because it just sucks some of that. I mean, trying to get this manganese dioxide out is almost impossible. I mean, not impossible, but it takes like 5 filters, and each time, and then you do it maybe 5-6 times, and you get it out. The way I cleaned my stuff was hydrochloric acid. I just throw it in and swish it around, and pretty much takes it away. I thought it was going to be a real problem getting that MnO2 out, but it really isn't. So I'm just going to filter all this, and I'll get back to you. This first filter is already filled up. So what I do is I get some distilled water, pour it through there a little bit, just a little bit on there, right? Turn the pump on. It's so dark in here you can't tell, but it dried it up so it looks like where it gets cracks in that, you know what I mean? Like when dirt dries out and you got the cracks in the desert. So I washed it with the water, and now I'm going to go on to the next. I'm going to get 4 more filter papers and filter some more. Yeah, let's check it out. I got about 5 or 6 of those patties or whatever. Some of them are cracked because I really got the water out. Some are wet. I forgot to wash some of them. So I didn't do a perfect job, but you know, it'll just affect my yield a little bit. Somebody asked me to do a video on how to make potassium permanganate, and I was like, you can just buy it at the store. Of course, he's from another country. So I told him about Nerd Rage or whoever, now Red or whoever did it, Chem Player, I don't know. You know, go look up his. But I got all this stuff. Maybe I will. I mean, I only know about 3 things to do with MnO2, so. All right, there's the flask. It obviously looks like crap, but like I said, throw some hydrochloric acid on it, it'll go away, swirl it around. That's all the water I got, all the liquid I got out when I filtered that. Remember, I use like 4 coffee filters each time I filter, you know what I mean? Now, this is the end product, but and it looks dirty, but watch when I put white paper behind it. It's clear as heck. The camera just does a terrible job. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to filter it anyway, and then I can look in the white filter paper and see if there's any black spots there. If there ain't, that's good. I'm still going to filter it all, but you know. You can see after filtering all that, it's still white as heck. All right, I'm going to distill this off. You can see down here, I got my stuff. Got a VIGOR-X column. Comes down here. Receiving flask. I got my bubbler. Got my heater down there. This should just be a simple distillation. I got that VIGOR-X column on there by mistake, and the distillations after that, I took it off. As you can see, I'm going to take out the first few milliliters, make sure that acetaldehyde's out of there. Well, it's still boiling up. Got my tinfoil on there. Keep the heat in. About 104 degrees Celsius. So that's what I'm distilling it at. And I'll go from there. Changed the receiving flask out to a bigger flask. So as you can see, I got some potassium sulfate out of there. Poured it into this. Put it in the refrigerator. Now I'm going to put it through here and get it in an even smaller container. Try and get every little bit out of there. Now I'm going to even boil that down more. Well, I'm getting it down to a smaller and smaller thing here. Well, that's it. That's the last of it. The reason why I keep going from smaller to smaller thing is because as I get the liquid out, I got so much precip it interferes and bumps. But that last part there that you just saw, that is, it smells exactly like water. There's literally no vinegar in it. Alright, I'm going to have to do this in a 2-part video. So hopefully you'll watch part 2. Movie Maker just erased more of my videos. What's funny is it always waits until I have basically just have to put in the last 5 seconds. And always remember, science is great.